Leveraging assets and building homeschool connections. Hello, my name is Tamika Willis, and today I'll be sharing my perspective on culturally responsive teaching, supporting English learners, and building strong home and school connections through an assets based approach. Culturally responsive teaching. What are cultural influences on teaching and learning? Cultural influences play a major role in teaching and learning. A student's culture shapes how they communicate, interact with others, and engage in the classroom. Culture also influences how teachers teach lessons and respond to students. Recognizing these differences help create a more inclusive and supportive learning environment. What is cultural competence and its role in the instruction of ELs? Cultural competence is the ability of teachers to effectively work with students from diverse cultural backgrounds. For English learners, this means understanding their language needs while also valuing their identities and experiences. When teachers are culturally competent, students feel respected, included, and more confident participating in class. How can EL's cultural values and beliefs be integrated appropriately into the context of teaching and learning? Integrating students' cultural values and beliefs into instruction is essential. Teachers can include diverse texts, perspectives, and classroom discussions that reflect students' backgrounds. Allowing students to share traditions, holidays, and experiences help them feel valued and promotes respect among classmates. What is the role of culture in student learning? Culture also plays an important role in student learning because it impacts motivation, engagement, and how students process information. When students see themselves represented in the curriculum, they are more likely to connect with learning and participate actively. How do school and classroom environments influence language acquisition, and what steps are necessary to create an inclusive environment? Schools and classroom environments strongly influence language acquisition. A supportive environment encourages students to take risks and practice using English without fear of embarrassment. Teachers can create inclusive classroom by establishing clear expectations, encouraging collaboration, and building positive relationships with students and families. What are some strategies for supporting and celebrating cultural diversity within the instruction? One strategy for celebrating cultural diversity is helping students recognize similarities across cultures. For example, comparing Sweet 16 celebrations in the United States with quinceañeras in Hispanic cultures helps students appreciate both similarities and differences. What are some strategies for leveraging home, language, and cultural assets? Teachers should also leverage students' home languages and cultural assets. Allowing strategic use of a student's native language can support understanding and build confidence while they continue developing English skills. Supporting the needs of ELs in the classroom. What are some strategies for responsiveness to the different strengths, needs, and identities of all ELs, including special needs? Supporting language English learners requires responding to their different strengths, needs, and identities. Differentiated instruction and scaffolding strategies such as visuals, sentence stems, and guided practice help students assess content while building language skills. Collaboration is also important, especially for students with special needs. Working with special education teachers and support staff ensures students receive appropriate interventions and accommodations. What are some opportunities and approaches to meet the social and emotional needs of ELs? Meeting the social and emotional needs of English learners is just as important as academic support. Implementing social emotional learning activities can help students build confidence, develop relationships, and feel a sense of belonging. What is the importance of understanding the social, emotional, and cultural needs of students when establishing classroom routines and procedures. Understanding students' social, emotional, and cultural backgrounds is important when establishing classroom routines and procedures. When teachers build trust and show respect, students are more likely to feel safe, engaged, and motivated to learn. Home and school connections. How might family and community practices, funds of knowledge influence language learning? Family and community practices, often called funds of knowledge, influence language learning and student success. Students bring valuable experiences, traditions, and problem solving skills from home that can strengthen classroom learning. What are some strategies to build and foster strong family, community, and school partnerships? Strong family, school, and community partnerships are built through consistent communication, respect for cultural differences, and opportunities for family involvement. Teachers can host family nights, conferences, and workshops to strengthen these relationships. What are effective family engagement practices that support and highlight the assets of home languages, including communication, family involvement, and provide intentional strategies for families of EL? Effective family engagement practices should also support home languages, providing translated materials, using interpreters, and encouraging communication in families. Preferred languages help families feel welcome and included. What are some inclusive community engagement practices? In- Inclusive community engagement practices might include partnering with local organizations, celebrating cultural events, and inviting community members to share their experiences and knowledge with students. These efforts help strengthen the connection between school and the community while honoring the diverse backgrounds of students. Closing. In conclusion, an assets based approach recognizes the cultural and linguistic strengths English learners bring to the classroom. By building inclusive environments, supporting student needs, and strengthening family and community partnerships, educators can help all students succeed. Thank you for your opportunity for the opportunity to share my thoughts.